There are times whenever you have something like what we have here, cosine theta, and you know what cosine theta is, but you want to know what theta, you want to go backwards and actually find the angle measurement this time. So in this scenario, we're going to find the measure of the angle in both degrees and radians. And these are ones that you should slowly be memorizing. That's why I'm having you fill out a unit circle each time. So when I think about this, I go ahead and just start thinking about my unit circle. And I want to think of the place where cosine is square root of 2 over 2. And I know that square root 2 over 2 happens right here whenever the angle measurement is 45 degrees or pi over 4. So cosine is square root of 2 over 2 at that particular place on the unit circle. So I would say that this happens at 45 degrees, which is pi over 4. But that's not the only place this happens. This particular ordered pair is going to happen here, here, and here. We just have to account for the signs. Here, the cosine, the x value, is negative square root of 2 over 2. Here, the x value is negative. Here, the x value is positive again. So it's not only going to happen at this place, but it's going to happen at this place. So that is 0, but go pi over 4 backwards. So it would happen at 2 pi minus pi over 4, or 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, which is also 360 take away 45 degrees, so 315 degrees. Let's think about the next one. I want to know the place where theta, what would theta be if tangent was 1? Well, in order for tangent to be 1, we have to find the place where the y value and the x value are the same, because something divided by itself is 1. So again, that's going to happen out here at pi over 4, because the ordered pair is square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. And so when I do the y value divided by the x value, I would get 1. So this happens at pi over 4, 11 pi over 4, which is also the same thing as 45 degrees, and 315 degrees. Let's think of this one. The place where we want to know theta, where cosecant is 2 square roots of 3 over 3. Anytime I'm talking about those reciprocal identities, I think it's easier to turn it back into sine or cosine. So I know that cosecant theta is the same thing as sine theta of the reciprocal. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify that. So I get 3 square root 3 over 6, which reduces to square root 3 over 2. So I've got to think about, on the unit circle, where are the places where sine is the square root of 3 over 2? So if I think about the unit circle, this place is square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. And this place up here is 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. So since I'm looking for sine, I'm looking for when the y value is the square root of 3 over 2. And that's at this spot right here. Sine is positive here. And this is pi over 3, which is the same thing as 60 degrees. Where is sine also going to be that? Here, here, and here at the pi over 3. So pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and 6 pi over 3. So since this is pi over 3, and I have a positive square root of 3 over 2, this ordered pair is going to be negative 1/2 positive square root of 3 over 2. So since the sign is positive, I know it's going to happen right there also. So that's 1 pi over 3, so it would be 2 pi over 3, which is the same thing as 90 plus 30, which is 120 degrees. Let's think of this last one. I want to find theta when sine is square root of 2 over 2. So you guys are already thinking about your unit circle. The place where sine is the square root of 2 over 2 is right here at pi over 4. And you may have to be looking at your unit circle to do this, but eventually you'll get to a place where you'll have it memorized. So sine is positive square root of 2 over 2 right here at pi over 4, which is 45 degrees. The other place where sine would be positive would be on this other side, because sine is positive square root of 2 over 2 right there. The cosine on this one is negative. Down here in these two quadrants, sine would be negative. So this is happening at pi over 4. It's also going to happen at 3 pi over 4, which is 135 degrees. So again, to do these problems, you may have to look at your unit circle, but I hope you're starting to think about the unit circle yourself before you look.